Yo, 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 what's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Nate the Great coming at you with another live. You already know if you're new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. To all the returning friends and family, you already know it's peace and blessing. Give y'all a little bit of time to tune in. Apologies for the pushback. A couple things I was trying to straighten out, but nonetheless, we here. First things first, hopefully everybody having a blessed and productive hump day. Middle of the week, almost to the weekend. Again, hopefully everybody smoothly getting through the work day. Hopefully the kids smoothly got through the school day. Colton, what's going on, my guy? For those in the city, like I said, hopefully y'all keeping yourselves safe and also keeping yourselves visual and aware because, yeah, like I said, the crime been spiking up too crazy. And in this instance right here, it is time to be more safe than sorry. Appreciate everybody that tuned in last night for the conversation. Definitely was one that was needed. And also, one that's going to be revisited at some point. But if you missed it, you already know you can catch the replay. Today, I'm gonna just keep it a little bit simple because just got some things I want to bounce off, but I also want to get some views and opinions. Cool gamer, what's going on, my guy? Wait, hold on, give you 1 second. Knew that was coming. Knew he was gonna get those. Welcome to the city. My question is for is it's almost a dual question for both men and women. James, what's going on? Miss T, what's going on, baby? I seen the video earlier. I'm not gonna lie, it kind of disturbed me, and the only reason why it disturbed me is because this is an actual fact of things that could be going on, or are actually are going on right now. And we've seen stories of this. I'm gonna say this first for you young women out there: if you already are in a situation where you have kids, but you're moving on with your life, um, one thing I would recommend is that you don't solely forsake or solely just don't give up on your kids because of the man. If a man is telling you he doesn't want to deal with you and your kids, or he just doesn't want to deal with you as long as those kids are around, that's a sign for you to find somebody who will be around you. Never should you want to forsake your kids, leave your kids off. Doesn't matter if it is with family. These are your kids at the end of the day. They're looking up to you. You know, it's bad enough. Okay, you might have a situation where fathers of those kids ain't even trying to be fathers, right? But if you consistently are getting with people who don't want to deal with, then you need to go somewhere where they will deal with. Why would you drop your kids off to your mother if you knew you wasn't going to be able to deal with them in the first place? You should have either gave up your rights or should have gave them up for adoption. If that's how you felt. But it makes no sense again that you are going to leave your kids because you want to follow your man. It is sad to say that, but it is truth to that too. We've seen this. You be so struck over a person, you willing to risk and sacrifice everything, even your own, just to be with that person. What does that really gain you in that? Some of y'all fail to realize that them stories that we come across, they don't always end up good. We do always end up getting situations where again the kids end up resenting or hating the parents because it's like, well, how did you choose this over me? And you brought me. Like I was saying before, and I'm gonna keep saying it, I'm gonna implement it to those who need to hear. If you are not prepared in any way, shape, or form to deal with parenthood, please be safe and start wrapping yourselves up. Shay, what's going on, baby? Yeah, you knew you was going to hear those fire trucks already. I see exactly where they going, baby. My bad, y'all. Wouldn't be the city without these damn noises, though. About to say, oh, they going heavy, heavy. Oh, it's a fire, fire. Oh, yeah, they on it. Oh, my bad, y'all. But again, like I was implementing last night, and I'm going to implement this again. You young men out there, be careful of who you slinging wood to. Ladies, be careful on who you giving the goods to. Because again, there should be no reason you decide you want to up and leave your child. Well, damn. My bad, y'all. Damn. There's no way you're going to tell me, oh, I don't know. I thought now listen, I'm still half asleep as we speak, Shay. Don't ask me. Because I actually changed the thumbnail and I get the chance to, I believe. Maurice, what's going on, baby? But again, I've always felt like this. You should never bring life into the world if you're not prepared to deal with the consequences, or not even consequences. Just deal with the responsibilities at hand. You know, again, these kids did not ask to be brought here. And if you're going to be irresponsible, no. When they get here, you need to start being responsible. You can't tell me that a man is the reason why you would drop your kids off or even abandon your kids. It's the same way with some of you men. There's no way you're going to tell me you feel comfortable just leaving your child out there without even caring. But this is a sad, grim reality that you're getting. And you figure some people will learn from the predecessors or learn from certain mistakes. But we see that is continuously happening. Now, again, I'm going to say this for the fellas. If you are not prepared in any way, shape, or form to deal with responsibilities, same way with you women, be more responsible and protect yourself. Riders, what's going on, baby? And you know what's crazy though? Shay, it's on both ends. Because some of these women too, they use their brains and not put themselves in precarious situations, but they do. Like I was speaking about last night. There's some of y'all putting yourselves in positions to where now instead of you just owning up and taking accountability and responsibility, you still find a way to try to point fingers and play the blame game. If I essentially go out there, prime example, like I said, and I decide to have unprotected sex with more than 10 different women, and all 10 of them women end up getting pregnant, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it that there's no denial that those are mine, right? Whose fault is that? Is that my fault or is that their fault? Essentially, it would be all of our faults because, again, we was thinking on a lust factor and not a trust factor. And to be honest with you, now you have to deal with a whole bunch of mouths to feed. So again, whose fault would that be? I'm saying that because again, you know, it's certain situations that should never ever take place again. Kids are a blessing and they're the most valuable and important pieces of life. And if you're not giving them an option to even try to succeed in life, you are basically essentially saying you gave up. So you would leave, even if you did leave with family, leave them with family, it doesn't matter. The fact that you're abandoning your kids because you want to follow somebody, that right there in itself, sheer selfishness. I'm sorry, I gotta call it the way I gotta call it. That's selfish. If anybody's even thinking that way, that's extremely selfish. I'm good, Maurice. I'm chilling, baby. Yeah, and vice versa. No man should just be out here doing too much and not worrying about if their kids are going to be safe or not. See, again, some people hate to hear this, but it is the truth when I say that a two-parent household is needed, just like a solid community of people is needed. I believe some of it do be mental health. Now, listen, I can respect those people. Prime example, if they might have had a drug problem and they know they couldn't be right for their kids at that moment, and they trying to kick themselves so they could get clean and be a good parent, then I respect that. You giving them up for adoption or you giving them up to whoever so they could be raised and still have an opportunity, I could respect that. We've seen some men and some women who definitely had to go through that. I didn't want to leave you, but in the same token, I didn't want to be a threat to you, and I definitely didn't want to be, unprepared, which I could respect. Marlene, what's going on, baby? You already know y'all just tuned in to like button. This is how I feel about it. This is just my views and opinions on it because I know not everybody gonna think the same. But again, I've always felt like this. Once you bring children into the world, now they're your responsibility, and you must do the best for them. You have to do the best for them. But again, if you're not solidly prepared within your own self, you feel you could barely take care of yourself. How can you take care of another life? That is a question that some people I feel should be asking themselves. As much as I probably would want to, am I really prepared for this? Am I really prepared to make this step to bring something into the world that I have to be, you know, I have to be responsible for? Again, it comes down to responsibility. And that's my thing. But see, Marlene, let it be known or let it be said, some people feel it's optional. There's some people who will, again, abandon their kids just solely for something that's not even going to be a guarantee. That's like you dropping your kids off because you want to pursue a career where you can still find a way to implement and keep your family intact, but you just want to be selfish about it. That's wrong in a sense too. Like I said before, I can respect those who are giving up their kids because they have messed up in the game, either financially and really can't do nothing, or the ones who are suffering from specific either psychiatric ailments or they just really messed up on the drugs and they don't want to be around their kids like that. They want to get themselves right. Could respect that. But you should not be again abandoning your kids because you want to travel around the world and you want to follow behind somebody. That 9 out of 10 is gonna end up leaving you at some point. First of all, the red flag there was the minute that man said, I don't want to be bothered with you as long as your kids are around. That right there should have told you, nah, you gotta go find somebody else. Yeah, it is weird, Marlene. I'm not gonna lie to you, it is weird. Because in my opinion, how selfish you gotta be to want to bring something into the world and then you don't want to be responsible. Like I said, I feel you should never give up on your children no matter what. You know, I believe in karma. Now, in this instance right here with this woman, I feel it's two things going on because she didn't even look all the way right in her mind to begin with. But even the mother said it. Why didn't you just speak to me from the beginning? I would have helped you. Or I probably would be, like you. Some of y'all fail to realize you are still blessed and lucky enough to have parents here. Parents who still care regardless to how your life is going. And if you got kids involved, 9 out of 10, they are going to be worried about the safety of their grandkids. So in that instance, if you know you can't be responsible, Don't put yourself in that position. No, I hear you, Marlene, and that's what I'm saying. Hold on, give me 1 second. I gotta fix something. I have to fix something. No, trying to be playing around with foods that they need to. So, um, and this is what I'm saying. It goes on both ends at the end of the day because it take two to tango. It take two to create a child. Take two to create multiple children. But in that same token, again, once they're here, you need to figure out what you need to figure out. And if you ain't gonna be able to at least stay together in that fraction of a relationship or whatever it is, then you need to figure out exactly how you co-parent and again how you give your children the option to grow. Now you're right. That's another thing too. There's some people who mess themselves up thinking if I give this man another baby, maybe this will change their mind. Listen, some men are going to be set in their ways. And my thing is, again, there's some of you who need to know your value. Yes, you men and you women need to know your value. There's nothing more dangerous than a person that knows their value, their worth, and know what they really want. It'd be intimidating to some people because they're like, well, damn, there's no way I could get this person to. No, you have to accept certain things for what it is, especially again when there's boundaries put there. Some people should be peeping the instances and the red flags to a degree. And again, if you know for a fact you already have in prime example struggles with your first child, why would you bring another one into here in the same situation, basically? Again, only do but so much. But I've always felt, again, when you are deciding to push a relationship with somebody, um, y'all both need to be almost on the same page. If not, y'all need to be on the same page every time because you might have your moments. You might definitely be in that zone. And sometimes this is how those 9 months later ends up happening. But I've always felt like this too. You have to establish yourself, establish yourself the best way. The best way a lot of times is again just think logically. If I can't even do certain things or if I'm having problems doing certain things, how do I implement bringing somebody into the world? If you barely even got a roof over your head, again, how you plan on bringing a child into the world? And again, a lot of y'all again are just thinking with hormones and lust. You're not thinking about, let me make sure this person really got their head on straight. Let me make sure that in the event of anything, I don't have to worry. And there's some of you men who need to worry because you forgot. What postpartum stress disorder for the ladies after they have babies? Yeah, that shit is real. Excuse me for my language, but that's real. This would be another reason why some of y'all should definitely be on point. Because again, if you are bringing a child into the world with this person, and if this person gets into that mode and it gets kind of out of control, that could be a danger right there. There are some people who have harmed their own kids just because of that. That's a notion that you should be worried about. And in the same instances, there's some of you women out there suffering in silence and not trying to get help. And honestly, you need to get help. Now, in all honesty, like I said, I feel there's still two ways with this one. Because again, you might have been dropping them off to your mother's house and all of that. But in the same token, you were getting ready to leave your kids probably for good because you want to travel and follow somebody. Now, what happens if something happens, God forbid, where you don't come back or you don't even get a chance to see your own mother? You're not thinking along those lines, are you? There's certain reasons why you shouldn't do certain things because it can never turn out good, and that karma could come back in so many bitter ways. Like you got people right now taking advantage of people that we know for a fact are not all the way in their heads. They ain't playing with a full deck. But there's some of you who will manipulate, and there's some of you who will sit there and just befriend and do certain things along those lines just to gain some form of trust. Prime example, there's no way if I know something is wrong with this woman in her mind, and I can see that there's something wrong with her, there's no way you're gonna tell me I'm gonna be that thirsty just to be doing something that I shouldn't have to do. Nah, ain't that serious. And again, in that situation, I feel that was controlling because you were really gonna drop them off because you want to chase your man around the world or you want to travel the world with your man. And what happens if that same man decide to dump you off? So you would have given up your kids, your rights, and everything else for what? For nothing? This is what I'm saying about people actually thinking before they do. Another thing I am going to cover at some point during this live is something I was bringing up a while back, and I feel it need to happen everywhere. I watched a couple videos surface. One of them had me laughing only because, again, you about to kick out your husband because he asked you to get a DNA test. A DNA test. Um, I'm gonna be honest with you because, like I said, it was this trick rabbit hole again. There's some of you who actually need to make sure you're getting proper DNA testing done, especially if you know there could be a kid involved, because you don't want to be taking that chance. Again, fellas, listen, you don't want to take that chance and end up being, you're going to have to pay and be responsible for something that's not yours. You know, this person probably is laying up with more than one person. Um, Definitely get a test. If you was in a situation where the significant other cheated on you and you not sure, still get that test done. Because let's keep it real. When it comes to that, you fellas need to be safer than sorry. Because this is my thing. There's some people who are getting caught up right now. And I'm talking about good people who just got wrapped up in a bad situation with the wrong person and they're suffering for it. Why? Because again, what they thought was something that was, you know, a blessing and a joy became a nightmare. But again, I would always say when there's babies involved, yeah, get that DNA tested. Now, prime example, this lady got mad and started throwing her husband's stuff out because he asked her for a DNA test. My thing is, if you are that confident and strong that it's his, why would you be willing to put his stuff out in the first place? First of all, even if that man has doubts, y'all are supposed to sit down and talk, regardless to what, because there could be something underlying. This is why I said communication is a must. There are some situations where, prime example, even in marriages, there's been some situations where finally get into a heated discussion or a heated type of disagreement, and you both storm off or you both go out and do something you shouldn't do. That's how true it is. But this is my thing though. Not everything in life is perfect. Never it was and never will be. But in the same token, have some common decency and some common sense. If you know you married, like I said before, this is just my opinion. All of those, all of those temptations, all of those extra thoughts should be out the window. If I'm going this far with you, that means I don't want nothing else. I don't need nothing else. That should be the mindset when both of you are going into that. But if you're getting married for all the wrong reasons, it ain't gonna work. You're laying down with the wrong people for the wrong reasons, it's not gonna work. And again, there's some of you who need to be safer than sorry. That's on both ends. Because there should be no reason why some of you women are testing more than 5, 10 men to see who your potential child's father is. Realist, what's going on? That's just my view and opinion on it, and I'm being logical. I'm not even judging. I'm just saying, there's no way you can tell me you felt comfortable testing more than a certain amount of men. And I've said this on both angles, the same way with some of these men. There's no way you're going to tell me you're just solely focusing on scratching off these lottery tickets, basically. At some point, a lot of you are going to want to settle down and have something grand with somebody, not something that's manufactured by somebody else. And you definitely want to make sure that this is what is going to be until you close your eyes for good. You want to make sure you at least made that right decision and the person that you was choosing to be with. I don't want to have second doubts knowing that there's already kids and stuff involved. So if I don't want that, before I even go that deep, I need to make sure these are the right reasons I'm getting married. So they said, who busted it open for a grilled cheese? I don't know where you came from, but man, no, I'm just saying in general. They got to be more wiser because, again, when it's all said and done, who's suffering more, you or them kids? And when I was going back to this situation, you want to leave your kids with your mother so you can run around the world with your boyfriend, or so you could go do whatever and go be with your boyfriend in peace, which again essentially doesn't make any sense. And honestly, we don't know what the backstory is because again, you got two kids, don't know if you got them by the same man or by a different man, and you dropping them somewhere else so to go be with a man who probably might do the same thing to you at some point if he don't get you pregnant. Now, if he do get you pregnant, you already see what he told you about yours. You really think he gonna be there for his? Again, when you got men like that who are that selfish, just like when you got women like that who are that selfish, y'all need to get away from them. Some of you single fathers out there, you might have one or two on your own. You're doing what you're doing. You're doing the best thing you're doing. But there should be no reason why if certain things happen, you will believe your woman over the kids, especially if your kids ain't got nothing to lie about. And you know, at certain ages, the kids are more truthful than anything. Toddlers are always going to be truthful, not unless they being coerced for something. But they always going to be truthful. They always going to speak truth. I'm sorry, but this is just my view and opinion on it. Be more careful in your choices in life. If you are not parents yet, this should be a wake up call for some of y'all. Some of y'all should focus on your goals and focus on yourself before you focus on bringing anything into the world. before you plan on getting married or doing anything along those sorts. Again, you should be focusing on at least getting yourself off the ground. Doesn't matter what you're doing in life, as long as you're doing something where you can at least be somewhat financially stable, just in case of anything. Silverback, what's going on, my guy? Just like I said before, the problem is you might not want to hear it, but it's true. There's some of y'all who feel like if you're not doing certain things, you're being laughed at. Oh, word, you had the opportunity and you ain't. See, it's almost, in my opinion, it's almost still like junior high and high school tactics. You're gonna have some people who never mentally grew up. Everything is a scorecard. Oh, word, you got with shorty, you got with shorty. Or vice versa. Oh, word, I know you was gonna do this with him, girl. And it's almost like competition, but it's the wrong type of competition. And for what? Prime example. Nobody wins when it comes to either end not caring about their kids in the world and how they being raised or if they even gonna survive. Nobody wins on that level. Prime example, God forbid, with that situation with this girl. That's just like if she decided to go and travel with that man and something happens, God forbid, to both of them. Now, again, you solely left kids in the world for what? Left them high and dry, not knowing what they're going to become. And that, you will want to be a part of your children's life. You want to make sure your kid is trying to grow up and be at least a decent person. Like I said, when they get to a certain age, they're going to make their own decisions. Granted, all that. You should want to be a part of that process with them growing up in the first place. You want to see their first steps. What parent wouldn't want to do that? Seeing their kids' first steps, their first words, first interactions. Who don't want those moments? I feel if that's the way you're going in life, that's where you want to be at in life. You need to solely start finding the person that's going to give you at least what you need, and you both could give each other what you need. You could build the best way. People don't want to hear that. Again, I can't think for everybody, but I could give some clear advice. And again, for some of these young men and women who are not parents yet, you should really think before you do. See, there's some of you, again, you're more focused about how starstruck you are about that person. Nah, it's almost like you idolizing and worshiping that person. You really shouldn't even do that. Yeah, you can honor them, respect them, and everything, but idolizing them as far as like you willing to do what? Just nah. That's too much right there. BMF, what's going on, my guy? I'm sorry, but it's crazy. It's sad that you think about it, and no matter what you try to say or how many people try to say it, there's some people who are just never going to grasp that concept. There's certain things that are not a game. Marriage is definitely not a game. That is a lifetime commitment. And again, until death do us part, uh, you gotta honor everything and cherish everything as far as that marriage is concerned. Because now again, you are becoming one. So that means we should have no fears, no doubts. nothing hidden, so on and so forth. We should be on a page where there's nothing that can destroy our marriage unless we decide to destroy it ourselves. Angel, what's going on, baby? And this is what I'm saying. Listen carefully. Uh, you do know we have contraceptives. You do know we have condoms. Anything else along those lines that are supposed to guarantee to keep impregnation from happening. And we know sometimes you might have accidents, you might have situations. And even in that situation, you are still supposed to be safer than sorry. You think that condom might have popped, you better make sure you got a backup. I'm sorry. Because again, there's some people right now crying because of the choices they made, because of the people they decide to lay up with or give all that lust to. And now look, there's children involved. Like I said before, you could be a baddie, but just because you're a baddie, what do you have exactly as far as your inequalities that's gonna keep you with you? You got baddies right now, prime example, or beautiful women right now, especially they getting dropped like a fly. And it doesn't matter who's dropping them, the fact that they're being dropped. That surely says something at times. Again, that doesn't put you above or beyond everybody, and that doesn't mean you can disrespect without getting disrespect. It's just that simple. And again, just because you might be like you might be something gorgeous, that does not mean your spirit is gorgeous. And that's on both ends too. Because there's some of y'all you putting your all in the above for somebody that ain't worth nothing. See, I always call it down the middle, like I said. Not just giving my views and observations and opinions on it. And some people are making mistakes because, again, listening to friends, listening to outside people, even listening to some family members. Yeah, I think you should do that. Word, you got the opportunity. Word, son, go for it. Go for it. Same thing, girl. You should go for it. If nobody interfering, go for it. Ain't always gonna be a good look. You never know what to expect. Because things could be going good right now. But the minute a problem arises to where it could cause a shift in things, this is where you will see things happening for what it is. Sometimes you gotta sit back in silence and observe things. And that's on both ends again. Now that there's kids in the world, you have to really start thinking carefully. Yeah, my bad, yo. Oh shoot, let me make sure my volume ain't messed up. I was trying to mess with something, my bad. Commander baby, moo moo. But yeah, I'm not gonna hold you. When you are bringing somebody into your life, especially on that level, you feel that's going to be your quote unquote, not just your companion, but everything. You need to really visibly pay attention. Sometimes you gotta sit back in silence again and just allow things to play out. Nothing should ever be forced fed. Nothing should ever feel like it's fictional. Like I said, love is a grand thing and could be a grander thing. And again, when you got society giving you the aspects of how love should be instead of you following your own, you will clearly keep getting certain situations that we see nowadays. Again, prime example, some people are messing up their own friendships, relationships, marriages, even messing up some of their families. Why? Because again, multiple aspects. You'll have some people who feel that just because you might have something good and they don't have something good, they will try to sabotage that. And in certain instances, you're going to have people who have never had specific things like that. And when it comes to them, they ain't going to know how to deal with it. For some people, it ain't their fault because if they've never had or they've never been accustomed to, it's a new feeling to them. So even if they make that mistake once, I highly doubt they'll make it again. Like I said, the main thing you got to remember though, and even in that instance, you got to love yourself before anything. Even when you feel there is no love around you or the people around you don't love you, you got to love yourself. You're going to have to do so because that's how you build yourself stronger, more wiser, and now you can definitely make those decisions for your life that are definitely going to be great ones. But again, when it comes down to children being involved in the whole mix, you have to start being more careful and responsible now. You should want to be responsible. And again, these kids they ain't asked to be brought here, but if they are going to be brought here, you need to do right by them. That is another form, in my opinion, of blocking your blessings because again, you have those who are blessed to have damn near army of kids, whereas you got some people in the world who probably can't have them, or they've been trying, or no matter what situation they could be going through, hey, maybe they just ain't want to get nobody pregnant at that time frame, so on and so forth, right? But once that blessing is bestowed, that's when you know you're supposed to be doing what's needed. Okay, well, it's time for me to get my big boy boots on and do what's necessary. Let me make sure mother of my child is good, so my child can be good. Again, being apart from the beginning. Didi, what's going on, baby? Damn, phone tweaking again. My bad. Trying to keep that up there. My bad. But yeah, it is time to put your thinking caps on when it comes to that, and just try to make sure you are being as careful and as precise with your decisions in life especially when you know you're bringing in newborn life. Those is precious moments right there. Those is precious blessings. And when you decide to just give up on or not care for or just be neglectful too, that in itself again is messing up your own blessings. No matter how you look at it, that's just a form of selfishness. Because again, if you wasn't going to want to be responsible for anything, you should have been responsible when you was in them bedrooms making those meetings. Sorry to say it that way. Again, I could use a prime example. If you decide to go lay up with a chick that you know for a fact has something, whose fault is that if you get burned, or whose fault is that if you end up catching something that you can't get rid of? Is it her fault or is it your fault? Essentially, it's both of your faults. Again, you have to be careful in life. The best safety course out of all of that. Not unless you really know you can trust that person good enough to do anything with. And if you want to go the distance, hey, you better make sure this is what it's going to be. There are some people who feel they make the right decision and they end up finding out they made a wrong decision. So again, before you go that deep, you need to be strapped up and wrapped up until you know you're ready to be cuffed up. Sorry to say it. No, but in that instance, though, realistic, it is a safety precaution because again, you ain't just gonna give yourself up to every damn body, man. And if you are, shoot, just be prepared for a lot of BS. Again, you have to solely think: Am I going to take this risk? Especially if I already got a gist of a person and feel what it is. You really think I'm going to sit there and slip up knowing that this person could possibly be a stress to my? No. Again, like most men, you want peace. You want to go somewhere where you're peaceful, appreciated, and valued. It's almost the same way with the women. Because again, you got to ask this person, what else you got outside of this? But if you set boundaries and if you also set realistic goals, like I was saying before, and realistic standards, reachable standards, should be good to go. Serious, what's going on, baby? Commissioner, what's going on, baby? You already know. Just tuned in, hit the like button. If y'all new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Like I said, I ain't gonna be on too crazy. Just want to bounce a few things off. But again, essentially think, why would I go into a situation knowing that, prime example, this person might not be playing with a full screw? And it could be a possibility if this person is triggered the wrong way, it could be a danger to me, it could be a danger to themselves, it could be a danger to our children. On either angle, there's some men who had to suffer the hard way, just like it's some women who suffered the hard way. Nonetheless, sad part about it all is that the children are the main ones, in my opinion, that are suffering the most. And they suffer again because now look, you got some who are doing the unthinkable to their own children. That's sheer evil. How do you bring something into the world just to get rid of it? It's not too much to ask. I don't think it's inconsiderate, but you should be considerate when you bring in kids into the world. Even if you feel you again can't do anything, give them the proper give them the proper chance at life. Give them to somebody who will actually give them a chance in life to live and grow. At least until you get yourself right. And if you can't get yourself right, at least you know you have done the right thing regardless. Because again, that's also a privilege to be a parent. Annie's, what's going on, baby? And I'm sorry, but this is a disturbing matter. Because again, you never know what you're taking a risk at when you're not really sitting down getting to know somebody. Again, young men and women out there need to start being more prepared and being more watchful on things. Like I said, fellas, if you feel like your woman has done something or the person that you might have kids with, listen, I feel like this. If you're gonna make that decision, you're gonna be a part of that. Just know there'll be consequences. Because again, if you are having doubts about something, you should never question those doubts. You should honestly just make sure this is what it is. Do your investigation, do your research. But then again, you should never have to come to that if you just know who you choose. Again, if somebody might not be for you, they could be for everybody. Why would you give that person a seat out of all people? In the same token, I look at it. Yeah, that person can have a bad body. And I'm speaking to you fellas again. Yeah, that person might be bad. She might have the body. She might have whatever. Does she have everything else that you require that you're gonna need? That you can actually say, you know what, I could make this somebody, and vice versa. Like I said before, take two to tango, take two to make a baby. There's no way you're gonna tell me no ifs, ands, or maybes that you shouldn't be responsible when there is kids coming in here. My honest view and opinion on it. If I went out in the world and did everything I know for a fact could come with a consequence, then I would have to accept those consequences, right? You got to look at it. There's no way you're gonna tell me I'm gonna feel comfortable leaving kids out there to fend for themselves, or not knowing, you know, what they could possibly be, what potentials in life they could have, or just being a part of. On that, the most selfish act I've ever felt is that. Again, you need to start thinking about yourself, start valuing what you need to value, and you really need to start building yourself, believing in yourself, and loving yourself again. You need to be at a strong point because again, you have to be strong for somebody that you could. potentially having your life somewhere down the line. And that's on all angles. It's not just the fellas I'm speaking to now, I'm speaking to the ladies too. You all would have to be in a good mental space. You would have to be more comfortable and more aware and love yourself more than anything. You really have to look yourself in the mirror at times and even give yourself that motivation because you need that. But when it comes to bringing precious life into the world, it's never going to be an easy fight, but it's never going to be a hard fight neither. In certain instances, it will be a complete medium balance. You're going to have your good days and your bad days. You're going to have some days that you wish never happened. But in the same token, it will give that strength. It will give those lessons. Hey, it will bring the bonds tighter sometimes. Fellas, if you know you are really not prepared on any level to be a father, you better be wrapped up or don't even think about it at all. Get yourself right. Ladies, same thing. If you done got warnings about certain things and you still go with, be prepared for consequences. Again, valuing yourself, keeping yourself safe at all costs. That's the most important part of this game in life. Appreciate you, baby. For those who are following me on Clapper, I will be definitely bringing something in the next, give or take hour or so. I need some feel good vibes. I honestly don't feel good because this is an uncomfortable conversation on either angle. Because apparently, you're not supposed to have an opinion on things. Apparently, you're not supposed to have a stand on things. But you know me already. You know me already. I don't tend to really go on emotions and feelings when it comes to certain things. This is just a logical, healthy conversation right here. No judgment. I just feel the way I feel. And you would try to wake certain people up because, again, even if you ain't there, you want to make sure that the person you are bringing kids in the world with, you're going to be able to raise them together and enjoy those moments of raising them together. But you also have to be a united front. Said this before, and I'm going to say it again. You have to be a united front. The problem in certain instances, because people get, again, caught up in the heat of the moment. And again, sometimes you have to really think logically. Even if it is a situation that, yeah, it was bound to happen, still want to be safe and sorry. But I've always felt like this too. If you value each other, if you value yourselves, you'll know when the times are right. And you'll know if it is the right time to really bring kids in the world together. Appreciate you, Sirius, and appreciate you, Angel, for dropping them links, baby. And appreciate you, James, for dropping Sirius link, baby. Out here working hard in these damn fire departments, baby. But all in all, though, it just a little food for thought for some that need to hear it. If you are not prepared to be responsible, make a responsible decision. Be safe with yourself. You ain't gotta give yourself to everybody to prove something to somebody. And again, in my opinion, this is where it always happens. This is where it always starts. It happens like that. Competition. Who can do what? Who can do what? Who can lay who? Again, you need to start valuing yourself. And I mean valuing yourself to where you are comfortable and stern in the decisions that you're gonna make, the responsible decisions you're gonna make, the responsible steps you're gonna take. Oh snap, no doubt. You can't just leave about the chat without telling me what you're making. Come on, man. I need some ideas right now. Some good old ideas. But in the same token, though, again, the elements in life, you're gonna get some surprises. You're gonna get what you was always expecting. You're gonna get some things that you wasn't expecting. You're gonna definitely have some trying moments. You're gonna have some moments where you feel like you're ready to give up and risk it all. But in the same token, you have to be responsible. You have to think clearly, and you have to just keep yourself strong in any situation. Oh snap, nachos, baby! No doubt. I ain't messing with you, Angel. But it's the truth, though. You know, you want somebody that's at least preserved or reserved in certain instances. And even if somebody has some sort of a track history, you don't know if that person has fully changed yet or not. And if that person has changed, you don't want to have doubts. See, again, you don't want to be with somebody that you might have doubts about. If I'm going to work, prime example, that's just like if we move in together and I'm going to work doing what I got to do and I'm feeling like you could be doing something, then that's a problem. You want to make sure that the person you're with is within that realm of things. Okay, I could go to work, I could go do what I do. Shoot, I could even do what is needed and not have to worry about her cheating or him cheating, so on and so forth. You want that type of situation. You would at least want that. And I'm being honest with you. Because again, if you have to have doubts about what's going on with your significant other, then that's a red flag right there. Then you can't allow outside interference to even put a doubt in your mind neither too. Some of y'all need to alleviate certain situations by doing this. Just be reserved when it does come to your relationship. I'm going to say it like this. I don't care if you want to call it a sneaky link. I don't care if you want to call it somebody you friends with benefits with, whatever situation you're dealing with somebody. If you really trust them, they trust you, so on and so forth. Again, the one thing to remember is keep that communication door open. And if there's certain things that you both are not willing to whatever, then you just kindly move on. Because again, you are solely blocking your own blessings. For all you know, you could have somebody around the corner that will give you what you need and also give you what you want. Just my view and opinion on it. I could be wrong, but I know I could be right too. It's the flip side of things. Appreciate you for dropping that link, serious baby. Oh yeah, don't worry. I'm gonna do something nice. I'm gonna do something nice tonight. Uh, I'm gonna continue the good old festivities. keep those good old vibes going. This is my thing. For men, prime example, you want a woman that you could bring home to the family or bring home so the people know what it is with you and that person. And if that is somebody that you really have love for and they have love for you and y'all both honor and respect each other's wishes, boundaries, and everything else, then what everybody else says should not matter at all. Because it is solely about finding the person that best fits you, that cares for you, and that loves you the same way you love them. Again, just my view and opinion on it. It's the same way, ladies. That man is not going to cherish you and value you, but also protect you the way he should. Clearly, that's not going to be the person for you. But again, if you know what you want, you set the reasonable boundaries and also the reasonable goals and aspects of things, you will find exactly what you need. Again, everybody has their differences and their preferences on what they want. Grant all of that. But in that same token, you better make sure these are the right decisions that you're making. Because some of these decisions you make will be forever. You will forever be tied to somebody if you bring multiple kids in the world. Doesn't matter. You will always be tied to that person. And you could be tied to multiple people if you're not safe. So again, it really is about being safe and bringing the best option to your life. And if your option is solely just to um, not be tied down, better find a reason to not stay tied down. Again, the most selfish thing you can do is not worry about the life that you're bringing in here. And I would say again, even for some of you who might already have kids in the midst, while they're still young, if you really feel you having a hard time, you need to try to find ways to get help. And if you feel you don't have help, then again, you need to either start over again as far as finding an option so you could be a part and still raise yours, or give them up to somebody that can do something until you're right. Because again, these children do not need to suffer. And you don't want to leave no doubt, don't want to leave no mistrust or any of that, especially in the minds of a young kid. And again, for those who had to leave their kids because of getting themselves right, and they actually did get themselves right within the required time frame, respect. No, it's hard to do, but yet still you did what you needed to do. You don't want it to be 20 years down the line, 25 years down the line before you finally get yourself together. You done missed out on a portion of your kid's life. Because again, that's still going to be resentment there. When it's all said and done, it's still going to be questions that are going to be asked. And the main question that will be asked is, how did you choose this over somebody you brought into the world? I hear you serious. You know, like I said, it's a lot of people who are going to practice different things. EPB, what's going on? But again, it's still about being safe. I don't care how much of a chemical attraction is there. If you know for a fact that person is not mentally stable, somewhat financially stable, or just spiritually stable, no need for you to even do that because you never know what will be around that corner. And that's real rap right there. You will never know. Better off safe than sorry. And don't be a casualty of laugh now and cry later. You rather put yourself in the highest of respects, the highest of lights. Again, make your wise decision. If these decisions feel good all around the board, do what's necessary. And even for those prime example, thank you for bringing that up. I wanted to mention that too. There's some of you who are adopting kids. Now I'm gonna bring out a stern message today too. If you are not again ready or willing to be responsible for these kids that you are bringing into your homes, do not bring them there just for the sole purpose of extra income. Do not bring them here just to be neglectful to them. Do not even do it. Leave them be. If you're going to be abusive, if you feel you're going to be abusive, you're going to be dangerous in any way, shape, or form, you don't need them. This is what I'm saying. You need to understand this because they are already going through enough as it is. No child really wants to be without either or parent. Let's get this correct. And the fact that they might be in these establishments and these facilities, you don't know what's going on in some of those foster homes and foster stuff anyway. Foster agencies, you don't know what's going on to the degree. Some of them have an upstanding good record. Some don't. Some you might have not even heard of, and you don't even know what could be going on. And I think about it. Respectfully, if you're not going to do right by them, there's no need. The worst form and the most selfish form is neglecting your children. Sorry, but you need to start setting the guidelines to that. Now, again, you're going to have people who actually do care and will actually bring the extra loving as far as bringing the loving attention, undivided attention, and everything along those lines. Giving them the education, treating them like their own. I respect those people. They're doing it for the right reasons. We've had some stories where some people have took on more than 5 to 10 foster kids. And it's not just because they can do it. They did it because they know it's just right to do it. But when you hear certain stories, yeah, you want to give those kids the right type of environment. Damn it, muted myself again. Shit. My bad, y'all. But let me repeat this. It's my fault. Really didn't even know I muted myself. Damn you, Simba. Leave me alone. Somebody come get your boy over here. Now, what you just was saying right there is another prime example again on why you need to be mindful and more aware of things. Again, there are a lot of you who need to start really focusing on that, educating yourself in all aspects. And it's also time to, calculate and control those emotions. Just see that right there didn't even necessarily have to happen what you just said. But this is another reason why sometimes you got to be mindful in the games that you play, or you got to be mindful of saying certain things. Again, that would be like you telling a man that's not his child. Most men, at least in my opinion, are going to go off, especially if they have built a bond with that child. So again, you got to be mindful. There's certain games in life you're just not going to be able to play because it could cost you yours. It could cost you your freedom on top of that. James, you're going to get blamed for not bringing back my pellet grill. Don't come back with that. We have to educate ourselves about preventing cancer. Exactly, serious. That's what I'm saying. Certain things you want to have to sit down and have talks about. But it should just be all in all common sense for those who are of age to know what they be doing. You ain't prepared for that 9 months later. Better wrap it up. Either that or don't do nothing at all. Like I said, that's the only real advice I could give out today. But I'll be honest with you though, it's a sad notion when again the main ones who are going to suffer in the long run are those kids. Be safe in the decisions that you're going to make in life. For your youngins, again, be careful. Must definitely observe the situation, process, and then from there, you know how to move and make the right decision. And it is a crime again for those who are running around sick and not telling people, or playing around like it's a game. You can't play around again with people's lives. That's a dangerous thing. This is why it's becoming a crime now. It's like it's becoming a crime in certain states now. What I was talking about, mandatory DNA test. I feel that should be a thing because you definitely want to make sure that there is no doubts, there is no ifs, ands, or buts about anything. And if it ain't, you can make a decision for me if you're going to still try to be a solid person, or if you want to move on and try to get to where you want to get to. Which again, everybody has their view and opinion. Everybody has their right. Some people might sit there and go for the gusto. Some people ain't. And see, and that's the thing though. Again, when you know you are that poisoned as far as your body is concerned, that should be the last thing you really be worried about. And if you are, again, you should be keeping yourself safe and keeping your partner safe. See, again, you got people who make selfish and rash decisions just because of emotion. It's time for people to start really getting in control of that. If I know, prime example, I have something, why would I go around and try to spread it around? See, also in my opinion, this is a prime example of when hurt people hurt people. But again, if you would keep yourself a little more preserved and reserved in certain situations, could view and see what's what, and then from there you could calculate your next movement. And I've said this before, and I'm gonna say this again. Best key in keeping yourself safe is making sure you are safe enough to be with somebody that you shouldn't have to worry about. Again, that's just my view and opinion on it. I can't tell nobody, but I'm just saying when it comes to bringing life into the world, that's where the problem lies at. You should never abandon yours, or you should never just bring multiples into the world if you're not going to take care of it, if you're going to deny them, if you're going to sit there and leave them to the wolves. That's selfish, and honestly, that's a crime in my opinion. Not even in my opinion, that's a crime, period. That's a crime to the law of land. Bringing blessings into the world, you need to be responsible for it. If not, bring them to somebody who will be responsible. You should never hear situations of kids being found in dumpsters, being found on doorsteps, being found here, found there. We should never have those. But apparently we are getting those still too. You can't ignore that fact. No, and this is what I'm saying. In this world that we are still inhabiting, we have to always be safe. Because you're going to have those who are going to keep things concealed. And even if you think it could be something, again, you need to observe and make sure. And if you can spot some of the obvious signs, you need to sit down and think and have a talk. But again, there should be nothing that people should be keeping from people. If I'm going to move forward with you, even if there is something wrong with me, I'm going to tell you what's wrong with me. So you're knowing I'm not lying about it, number one. Number two, you'll know exactly what to maneuver around if you decide to still deal with it. And so on and so forth. But a lot of y'all just making rash decisions and don't care. This is why we keep getting the spread to a degree too. Again, hurt people hurting people. Kev, what's going on, my guy? You know, and again, if you've made decisions where you would have to just face those consequences and results, don't bring everybody else down with you. Because again, you had all decisions to keep yourself safe and you didn't. Again, you have to observe and see what it really is. Tanya, what's going on, baby? I've always felt like this. Not gonna do right by them. Give your rights up. If you know you ain't gonna ever do right by them, you should just give up your rights as a parent. And I would honestly say you shouldn't worry about producing any more into the world if you are not gonna do anything for anybody. Look how many people out there do have the same father, and that father's not doing nothing for them. Same way they got deadbeat mothers out there leaving their kids away and doing whatever just because of this. It's sad and it's sickening, but what could you really do? Most you could do is try to bring an awareness that's needed. Again, there should be no reason why those kids have to suffer. And this is what I'm saying. You have to be safe. Because even for some who do have that virus, prime example, even if you are still young and you still might want children, you still have to be safe. And when it comes to certain situations, you're not going to be able to give natural birth. You're going to have to get a C-section. And even still, you're going to have to be aware of everything before you bring that person into the world. So again, I would advise anybody, I don't care what your health status is, if you are not prepared to deal with any and everything when it comes to being responsible for a child, do not bring them into the world until you are. Just a clear bit of advice. All in all, though, just want to chime in with the people for a minute. Again, apologies for the pushback. I had a few things I was trying to get in order. Well, I know what I got to do this Saturday, and it's going to be a lot of doing that. Y'all pray for my scalp, y'all. Yeah, we coming after him. We coming. But again, for you young men and women out there, even the ones who are not with children yet, you better make sure you are properly bringing children into the world with somebody who's going to be properly built for you. Because it's going to be a team effort. It's not going to be one doing everything. It should be a team effort. Because it was a team effort to create this life. Now it should be a team effort to raise this life. It's just some food for thought for the day. And before I do get up out of here, for those again who are following me on Clapper, I shall definitely be back around 8 o'clock. And we're going to have some good vibes, some good fun. I just mostly wanted to bounce some things off, you know. But ladies, I would ask that, what would you do in your situation? I know most of y'all would have a logical sense and say you will still have to do what you have to do for yours. There are some who might not think that way. Like I said, I'm going to revisit this point too at some point. Probably be this week or this weekend. We'll see. But I mostly just wanted to chime in with y'all. Still got to do one or two little things before the show. Um, Again, just be safe, be wise, be mindful of your decisions. Again, love yourself, believe in yourself, trust yourself. Nobody else is going to do it better than you. And if you are going to find that person, if you feel this is what you want in life and what you need in life, you better make sure it's for the right reasons. And again, make sure that person has your best interest at heart. More than anything, make sure they love and honor you and respect you the way you would do them. Again, appreciate everybody that tuned in this afternoon for the conversation. For those who might have just been tuning in, you can catch the replay. Definitely got to get a few things in order before the night. So this is a good conversation going on. Again, blessings to everybody that chimed in and tuned in. Always a good vibe to bring sun to the people. And this is what we're going to continue to do. Still got a lot of work to do. So appreciate everybody that's been a part of this eulogy family, still becoming a part of. And again, this is the vibes you want to get. Appreciate everybody again for dropping those links. Appreciate you, serious baby. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. It's not Taco Tuesday. I know it's Hump Day Wednesday. Oh, serious, I got something for you, baby. James, I got something for you too. But you gotta bring my grill back. For everybody else that's following, you already know what it is. We're gonna definitely be back in the building. Sleazy, what's going on, Yeet? But yeah, we definitely gonna be back in the building in a little while. Again, for those who are not following me on Clapper, make sure you're doing so. Oh yeah, and definitely check out them shorts. I'm wilding out. Somebody take my device, damn it. I told y'all to take my device. Might be that Wednesday request line. You never know. Matter of fact, yeah, it could be a Wednesday request line. Let's see how this pans out. Let's see how this pans out. Nonetheless, this was just a good talk and good for those just coming in. Be appreciated because I'm gonna visit this thing again and I'm gonna drop a link and good to get some feedback. Definitely want to get some of the males' perspectives and also some of the female perspectives when it came to this live today. So, like I said, this will be revisited. When the link is dropped, y'all know what to do. But yeah, let me start getting myself up out of here. Again, for those who just tuned in, definitely catch the replay. Like I said, we definitely got some more work to do, and it's critical now. If y'all was new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Shout outs to the replay game. Shout outs to the Shadow Mafia and the Shadow Babies. Y'all know what it is, baby. Everybody that was in attendance today, y'all already know that love is love and it be reciprocated as such. I don't know how to be fake. All I do is give you real. That's all I'm gonna do is give you real topics and real builds. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely revisit this. Probably could be by the weekend, y'all. So just prepare for it. Prepare for it. For those, I'll be back at 8 on Clapper. And don't worry, you're gonna get that early morning safe because I'm off until Friday, baby. Time for the festivities to begin. But y'all stay safe. Keep that third eye open. And until the next live, we out of here. Peace and blessings.